What is up, guys? I'm going to walk you through how I like to structure my sprint workouts to build speed, athleticism, and power. I'll mention the exercises or drills I like to do within every sprint workout. I'll mention my rules I like to follow within each sprint workout to make sure I'm not overtraining and also to make sure I'm getting adequate stimulus. Hopefully this helps you guys.
All right, so starting off, we're going to spend about 5 minutes getting the heart rate and body temperature up. We're going to move the body generally, and we're not going to do anything too specific to sprinting yet. My first couple moves always tend to focus on moving the spine, as the spine contributes a whole lot to most movement in general, but also specifically sprinting. The focus of these first 5 minutes are to get your tissues and joints primed for the faster velocities that are going to start to happen in the second and the third parts of this sprinting workout. To go through what I did in these dynamic warm-up videos, I did walking arm circles, walking lateral rotation, bend down, rotate out, and world's greatest stretch.
What you would notice about these sessions is that they build from the lowest velocity, slowest movements at the beginning of the session to the highest velocity, fastest movements at the end of the session. This is on purpose. Those general priming movements and that general 5 minutes dynamic warm-up at the beginning are the slowest. Then you get into your sprint drills, a little bit higher velocities, your tissues are more primed, they're ready for those, and those generally build throughout those drills into faster and faster versions, things getting more specific and closer to sprinting.
So now that the body is pretty well generally prepared and the joints are greased and grooved, we're going to go through our sprint drills. As mentioned before, we will go basically from the lowest velocity to the highest velocity with these, starting with the exaggerated walk, then the march, then these switches, doing just one rep of each of these sprint drills. After those, we're going to go into the skip series, starting with my favorite, the A skip. There's going to be a phase where both feet are on the ground at the same time, focusing on driving that foot into the ground. On this one, we're going to let that foot come out a little bit, and we're going to focus on pulling back a little bit more. Then we've got the ABC skip. We do an A skip, and then a leg out to the side, and then a straight leg. At this point, the heart rate's up, we're getting greased and grooved. Then we've got high knees. Intensity here. Go fast. You'll notice the velocities are starting to pick up more. Body temperature and the heart rate are up, and now we've got karaoke, getting some lateral movement in there, really focusing on that high step on each rep. Now, into the bound series, we've got short step, straight leg bounds, noticing the velocity continues to increase with our straight leg, big step bounds, then into alternating cycles, and then after that, we've got single leg cycles on the left leg and on the right leg. Velocities here are continuing to increase as we go. Now we've got some build-ups where on each rep, we're doing a few more hard steps than the rep before finally getting into our first sprint rep of the day.
Once we get into the actual sprinting portion of the sprint workout, we're going to be resting longer than you would expect. We're going to be resting at least 2 minutes, but even up to 5 minutes on these higher velocity sprints. That way we can completely let our creatine phosphate stores replenish. That's the way you get faster.
My sprint workout today was 4 20-yard sprints with a 3-minute recovery, followed by 10-yard flies with a 20-yard build, focusing on the max velocity portion of it there.
Make your reps as high quality as possible. The goal here is quality, not quantity. On these max velocity sprints, these sprints that we're going to be at our highest speeds, this is when we're going to want to rest the longest. So between these 4 reps that I'm going to do, I'm going to be resting at least 3 minutes. That way I can completely recover and I can run as fast as possible on each rep. That's how you build speed. That's how you really get faster. We're not building work capacity, we're building speed. If you want to build work capacity, do it on the bike or do some hill sprints and dedicate a session specifically to that. Bring your rest times down. But in this specific session, the goal is to build speed. The specifics of this workout really aren't that important as far as the specific drills that I did, the specific sprint distances that I did. Those are not that important. The important part of this is that the general structure is a pretty good way to structure a sprint workout in general. Go from lowest velocity to highest velocity. If you have drills that you like better or that you think correlate more to the sprint drill, the sprint mechanics that you want to work on, do that instead. It makes more sense. I have these specific drills in here to work on the specific mechanical problems in my sprinting that I feel I need to work on. You can take out 3 of the sprint drills that I had in there, put in 3 different ones of your own. I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you learned. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment or shoot me a DM. I'd love to make a video about it.